So today is our chapter number 1, physical quantities. So what is the definition? The quantity that can be measured, observed or calculated through certain formula. It means that you are required to now memorize the formula to take out the certain values. These quantities are expressed in magnitude. And again, I said that SI unit is very essential for you in your physics, such as if the examiner asks you anything like for suppose density, the value of density you are required to just write and required to write the SI unit. If you does not write the SI unit, your marks will be reduced. Okay, so what is magnitude? Every physical quantity is expressed by an amount with a specific unit, such as a physical quantity, which is you are required to write in symbol, is equals to an amount multiplied by unit. Okay, so here is the D is equals to 10 meter. D means distance. So D is the symbol of distance. 10 is an amount and M as a unit, which is meter. So, SI unit is the international system of unit. It is used by scientists all around the world to avoid confusion. Obviously, it is consist of base physical quantities and their corresponding base units, such as the physical quantity mass. The symbol of mass is m, small m. And what is the unit? Kilogram. You can write it kg. It is acceptable indeed, not required to write the complete word, but you can write the kilogram as kg. It is acceptable. The length represents by the symbol capital L, and the SI unit is meter. Time t, seconds. The amount of substance is required. The symbol of N and the SI unit is mole. You can write simple MOL. It is acceptable. The temperature T also requires in Kelvin here written, but you are also required to write in degrees Celsius. I know that here it's written in Kelvin, but in the answer you are required to write the temperature in the degree Celsius. Electrical current I amperes, and the intensity of light candela or CD. It's acceptable. Okay, so moving towards the types of physical quantities. Basically, there are two types of physical quantities, such as the base quantities and the derived quantities. If once you understand about the base quantities, you will be obviously understanding the derived quantities. Those physical quantities which are independent and does not come from any other quantities. There are seven base quantities, such as mass, length, time, temperature, electrical current, amount of matter, and intensity of light. Okay, what is the derived quantities? Those physical quantities which dependence upon base quantities through certain relation or formula. Some of derived quantities are given below, such as velocity, acceleration, force, torque, momentum, area, density, pressure, or volume. Now, for suppose you are required to find out the value of density. So density is equals to mass upon volume. Here the mass is the base quantity again, and the velocity or acceleration, distance upon time, or final velocity minus initial velocity upon time. Here the time is the base quantity. Okay, so the classification of physical quantities. Scalar quantities such are those physical quantities which are completely specified by magnitude only. It means that it does not have any direction. We have understand this in our previous video of kinematics too. These quantities have an amount with a specific unit called magnitude. These quantities do not possess any direction for their complete specification. And this is the opposite with the vector quantities. Okay, so what are the prefixes? The definition is predefined numerical values that come between an amount and a unit. It means, for example, 10 kilometer, okay, and 90 milligram, and 1 microsecond. These are the prefixes. For more understanding, moving towards the next. Okay, what are the values of prefixes? The decreasing value of prefixes is deci, centi, milli, micro, nano, and pico. These are all the ratification you're required to just learn it simply. The increasing prefixes deca, kilo, mega, giga, and tera. So remember that you are required to also memorize the word and the value, the power of 10. Okay, if you does not acknowledge this, this can be difficult for you in your such tables given to you. What is error? Definition is that difference between observed value and actual value or true value or theoretical value. For example, every scientific measurements will always be mentioned with an appropriate unit of negative or positive. We already understand by this. Okay, what are the types of error? There are positive type of error and negative type of error. When observed value is more than actual value, it is said to be positive error. It is always subtracted from observed value to find true value. It is called positive zero error. Positive zero error is the word you are required to learn it. It is used as observed value minus positive error is equals to actual value. What is the negative? It's all the opposite. It is called the negative zero error and is used observed value plus. Now here it's adding. Means when observed value is less than actual value, so now we require to add it. Observed value plus negative error is equals to actual value. What are the causes of error? There are systematic error, personal error, and random error. What is a systematic error? Systematic errors occur when all the measurements of physical quantities are affected equally. These give the consistent difference in the reading. Reasons for systematic errors. The systematic errors may occur due to zero error in measuring instrument, poor calibration of the instrument, incorrect calibration on the measuring instrument. How can we reduce systematic errors? We can reduce systematic errors by comparing the instrument with another instrument which is known to be more accurate. Thus, systematic error is reduced by applying a correction factor to all the reading taken on an instrument. Random error. Random error is said to take place when repeated measurements of the quantity give different values under the same conditions. Okay, so the reasons for the random error is it occurs due to the some unknown reasons. What does it mean? How can we reduce random errors? Okay, the random error can be reduced by taking several readings of the same quantity and then taking their main value. The personal error. Personal error is said to be take place when repeated measurements of the quantity give different values under the different supervision with same conditions. Reasons for personal errors. It occurs due to irresponsible behavior of operator. Okay, how can we reduce personal error? The personal error can be reduced by taking readings carefully with full command of operation. It means that, okay, now there are the parallax error. What does mean by the parallax error is most common use the word in the physics. Parallax error, it means as such that you are having a scale and for suppose that you are measuring any object by the instrument scale and the ruler you have set and you are beside it sitting and you are just like sitting or just laying down yourself and just understanding that you are required to just take the value from which side it is visible to you. This can cause a parallax error because the human or the human error because the reason is that you are not taking the measurement from the uh, parallel or the perpendicular of the reading. It means that your eye must be the perpendicular or parallel to the reading. That's why it's called the parallax error because there are the parallax errors such as for suppose if you are noticing the time and you are not a good operator, it means that you're having irresponsible behavior, such as the time you are required to stop, but you are taking a less time or you have stopped it more than the time it was been asked to you to stop or the experiment has been finished. It means that the time is inappropriate or we can say that yes the time is inappropriate because only the reason that for suppose the experiment is been having and they have been asking from you whenever the experiment stops you are required to stop the stopwatch. Yes, but it does not have stop the stopwatch at the time you are required to stop it. It means that there may be an error. Such an error, parallax error, means that for suppose you are checking the reading such as the micro screw gauge or from the any of the scale quantity. What the quantity? You are required to just take it in a focus, and there may be some error. So how you're required to just calculate the error? What I said you are required to just find out the formula which is written here. The observed value positive error is equals to actual value. So here you are required to just add or subtract. So there we go. If there is any question for you, you are required to just comment me below and just wait for the answer.